This is the iENYRID M4 Pro S Plus electric scooter, and today I'm going to put it together. We're going to charge it up and we're going to run it through its paces. So for specs on this bad boy, rated power is 800 watts, max load 330 pounds, 48 volt battery with a 12.5 amp hour capacity. So here it all is unboxed. We have the main unit itself, a removable optional seat, which is fantastic, an extra inner tube, instructions, tools, charger, and I don't know what that is. We're gonna find out. This thing is hands down the best electric scooter I have ever used. It has a wide foot base here, a very comfortable springy seat with springs here, springs there, and here as well. When you sit down, there is some travel and makes it very comfortable. You have some shocks here. You have 10-inch tires. You have more springs and shocks there. I mean, let's just keep going. We're just going through the features here. Headlights, but it's not attached to the handlebar. So when you turn the handlebars, they stay in place. I had a GoTrax that was attached to the handlebar, so when you turned it, the light turned and it was just a hot mess. Great placement of the throttle and the brakes. You have a horn that's very loud, which we'll get into. You can also put in, there's a passcode, little process to get to your screen here and unlock the bike so people can't steal it. But yeah, you have an odometer. I've driven 2 miles. You have different modes, and this thing is fast. This thing screams. You have blinkers. Where are the blinkers? See that? You have blinkers, brake lights. Here you control the blinkers. Blinkers, brake lights, horn. Nice, colorful screen that I know is flickering that you probably can't see. But this thing is amazing. It's just very high quality build. I mean, I didn't see anything out of place. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And then when you turn on the headlights, it's a light show underneath. In addition to the headlights, you have brake lights, you have tail lights, then you have brake lights. Squeeze the brakes, there you go. See them lighting up. All right. Rear disc brakes, front disc brakes. It is a really nice machine. Now let's talk a little bit more about some specs. Now, like every other scooter, this thing does take quite a while to charge up. It takes 6 to 8 hours to charge up from empty. The seat is also removable, so you can ride it with or without the seat. And then they have this little thing that you could put there to as a base for your foot to make riding upright more comfortable. But I will say this, if you're going to ride upright, don't put this thing on turbo because it's just too fast. This thing gets a range of about 18 miles and it goes 28 miles per hour. Now with all that and that big hefty battery, it does weigh quite a bit. It's 53 pounds. It does fold up, but with the seat, obviously it can't fold because the seat is in the way. You have to remove the seat, and then that way you can fold it up for transport. But yeah, so those are the specs, those are the features. I know I just ripped through them, but this thing excites me. Let's get this thing on the road. I got to meet somebody at the hardware store, so we're going to take a ride and see how comfortable all those shocks and springs make this ride. All right, so it is a really nice day to be going. It is very torquey, and that's on eco mode. Now we changed the modes by hitting M. See if you can see that. Well, actually that's not how you change. What is the M? I don't know what M is for. You hit the plus and minus button. Now it's in standard and we going. Woo! Now that'll get you to 30 kilometers on that mode. And if we want to go faster, we go up the turbo. That'll get you to 45. So far, this is the fastest scooter I've used. Oh, shoot. I need a helmet. Gosh darn it. Yeah, Big B hit me right in the face. This thing is taking a beating. Rough road here. A little clanky. Man, that was a lot. All right, back from my ride, and hopefully you can see that, but we now have 8 miles on this thing, and it drove really well. I have been on some really jarring scooters before. This is not that. It is quite clangy, and that can be a little scary, but everything is still intact. What you hear is like from the fender, this. That is plastic, and same thing. So that's what you hear shaking when you go over like big bumps, which bumps are going to be big to these 10-inch tires. One thing I didn't do, which I'm about to do now, is see how it performs in the grass. And I have a little hill, so we'll play around with that and see how it does. The ride is still comfortable. You don't get fatigued riding this like some of the Go Traxes that I've used. All right, I'm going to put it in eco mode so we can okay. That's like a nice little hill too right there. Let's try to go down. Ooh, I would go down the hardest part. Woo! All right. Now, in order to remove the seat is actually not a whole lot you have to do. All you have to do is there's a screw here while it's still in its upright position. Get a 3/16 Allen key. I've already loosened it up. I'm gonna have a screw and then a little rod. There you go. Remove that. From there, you're just gonna pop this up, move it out of the way, and then depressed. Now, if this was that rod was still in, you would just depress this and lift it up. And now you can put your foot bracket on here, which unfortunately for me, I have misplaced. And this is how it looks folded up, and you can carry it from here like a case. Just be careful because there is no reinforcement when you set the battery down on the ground. So what are my overall thoughts of the M4 Pro S Plus? I love this thing. I love it. I was trying to look up old Go Traxes that I have reviewed, and I saw they had newer versions out that are like $2,000. I just bought a motorcycle for $2,000, but $2,000, and you know they can go 30-something miles an hour. Okay, this is $599. All right, and it goes 28 miles an hour. The only thing Go Trax has from that is double that price, and it doesn't have a seat. So, and in a lot of areas, at that speed, you have to have a seat by law. So I love this thing. I highly recommend it. If you were looking for a good scooter, $5.99 is a steal. I'm going to try to reach out to them to see if I can get you an extra discount. So be on the lookout for that in the description. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Now let's get to the Eco Score. All right, now before we get to the Eco Score, let's just look at some of the specs compared to the GoTrax Rival and the GoTrax Campus, two other scooters that I've reviewed in the past. All right, the iENYRID M4 Pro S Plus. For the price, compared to what you get, the cheapest thing I was able to find from GoTrax was double the price, and it gets a 5. As far as weight, for all that you get, that battery pack, it's actually not that heavy, especially when you compare it to the GoTrax Campus, which is heavy because it has the seat, but it's completely weak, and this gets a 4. Build quality, excellent, gets a 5. Distance, now for the distance, I would have loved to have seen it get into the 20-mile range, so that gets a 4. As far as payload capacity goes, as how much weight it can hold, it gets a 5. As far as the features go, you have the removable seat. You have the headlight that sits in place. You have 3 different modes that you can change into, which I've never seen before: Eco, Standard, and Turbo. I don't need to go on anymore. It gets a 5. Top speed, that thing screams. Now, there are scooters out there that go faster, but again, considering the price point of this thing, it gets a 5. Warranty, it gets a 1 because that's how many years it is. It's a 1-year warranty. Even though that's standard, we give scores in terms of warranty based on how many years, so it gets a 1. In terms of value, I think this scooter, again, for the price, all that you get, the build quality, it is just so fun to ride. You will need a helmet though. I got the whole kit. I just didn't have it on a day and was quickly reminded why I need it. You go too fast at a certain point, the wind takes your breath away, and you most certainly need something over your eyes. So you're definitely going to need that. And I didn't need that with any of those GoTraxes. I was bored. And if you watch any of those videos, a squirrel beat me in a race. Okay, that I knew it was over then. But anyway, as far as value, 5 for a grand total of 39 out of 45. It's going to be hard to top this. So all you other companies with scooters, bring your A game.